Hello dear children, welcome back. I am Dr. Jisha Joe. In this session, we shall discuss the remaining questions from the sample question paper of biology. So children, starting with the 21st question. Location of spindle fibers. Options are between the two centrioles, between the two centrosomes, between chromatid and centromere, and between two centromeres. Which is the correct option? Look at the options once again. Between the two centrioles. What are centrioles? Centrioles are rod-shaped structures present inside the centrosomes. Okay. Then between the two centrosomes. What are centrosomes? Centrosomes are cell organelles that are present close to the nucleus in animal cells. Okay. Each centrosome has two centrioles. Then between chromatid and centromere. What is a chromatid? We know the two arms of a chromosome are called chromatids, and centromere, the region where the two arms are attached, is called as the centromere. The region where the two chromatids are attached is called as a centromere. Between two centromeres. Which is the correct option? Location of spindle fibers. Spindle fibers extend between two centros. Is it between two centrioles? Is it between two centrosomes? We know option C and D are wrong. Compare the other two options, option A and option B. Look at the options A and B. Which is the correct answer? It is between the two centrosomes. Okay, not between the two centrioles. It is between the two centrosomes. Spindle fibers are located between the two centrosomes. The correct answer is option B, between the two centrosomes. Now question 22. Location of root hair. Option A, extension of the cortex. B, extension of epithelium. C, extension of epidermis. D, extension of endodermis. Which is the correct answer? We know that root hairs are unicellular extensions of the epidermis of root, isn't it? So which is the correct answer? Option C, extension of epidermis. Question 23. Location of stomata. Where are the stomata located? Let us move on to the options. Option A, more on the upper surface of the dorsiventral leaves. B, more on the lower surface of the dorsiventral leaves. C, both upper and lower surface of the dorsiventral leaves. And D, none of the above. So what is a dorsiventral leaf? Dorsiventral leaves are unique to dicot plants. Okay. So here the stomata, location of stomata in dorsiventral leaves. What is the correct answer? In dorsiventral leaves, these stomata are concentrated more on the lower surface than on the upper surface, isn't it? Whereas in the case of monocot leaves, we know the leaves are, the stomata are distributed almost equally on both the upper and lower surfaces of the leaves. That is in the case of monocot leaves. Whereas dorsiventral leaves are dicot leaves, leaves of dicot plants, and the stomata in such cases in dorsiventral leaves are concentrated more on the lower surface of the dorsiventral leaves. This is an adaptation made by leaves to reduce transpiration. So the correct answer is option B, more on the lower surface of dorsiventral leaves. Question 24. Location of thylakoids. What are thylakoids? We know they are flattened sac-like structures present inside the chloroplast. Okay, let us move on to the options. A, in the inner membrane of the chloroplast. B, wall of the chloroplast. C, in the chlorophyll. D, in the stroma of the chloroplast. Which is the correct answer? So, thylakoids are not present on the inner membrane of the chloroplast, nor are they found on the walls of the chloroplast. Is it in the chlorophyll? No, chlorophyll is actually present on the walls of the thylakoids. So, what is the correct answer? Thylakoids are present in the stroma. Stroma, what is stroma? Stroma is the fluid matrix present inside the chloroplast. So, thylakoids are present in the stroma of the chloroplast. Correct answer is option D, in the stroma of the chloroplast. Question 25. Location of Palisade parenchyma. We know in dorsiventral leaves or in dicot leaves, the mesophyll tissue. What is mesophyll tissue? The tissue present between the upper and the lower epidermis in leaves is called as the mesophyll. In dicot leaves, this mesophyll is differentiated into upper column-like cells, which we call as the Palisade parenchyma, and the lower cells which we call as the spongy parenchyma. These are parenchyma cells with intercellular spaces. Okay, so in dicot leaves, the mesophyll is differentiated into Palisade parenchyma. Palisade parenchyma and spongy parenchyma. Palisade parenchyma is seen just below the upper epidermis, and spongy parenchyma is seen above the lower epidermis. So here the question is location of Palisade parenchyma. Okay, look at the options: between the upper and lower epidermis of dicot leaves. B, between the upper epidermis and spongy parenchyma of dicot leaves. C, between the lower epidermis and spongy parenchyma of dicot leaves. D, between the upper and lower epidermis of monocot leaves. Which is the correct answer? It is not seen in monocot leaves, so option D is wrong. Now, which is the correct answer? The location of Palisade parenchyma, I told you it is present just below the upper epidermis. So, it is found between the upper epidermis and spongy parenchyma of dicot leaves. Okay, so the correct answer is option B, between the upper epidermis and spongy parenchyma of dicot leaves. Question 26. Function of stroma. Stroma we have already discussed in one of the previous question. Stroma is the gel-like or the fluid matrix present inside the chloroplast. What is the function of stroma? That is the question. Options are site of photolysis of photosynthesis, site of photochemical phase of photosynthesis, site of light dependent phase of photosynthesis, site of light independent phase of photosynthesis. Okay, so site of photolysis, where does photolysis, what is photolysis? Photolysis is the splitting of water in presence of light. Where does it take place? In the granum or in the thylakoids. Okay, because the chlorophyll is present on the walls of the thylakoids. So that is not the answer. Site of photochemical phase. Photochemical phase is actually the light dependent phase. Okay, the light dependent phase is otherwise called as the photochemical phase. So that also occurs on the thylakoids or on the granum. So which is the correct answer? Stroma is the site of light independent phase of photosynthesis. Light independent phase is why is it called as light independent phase? It is also called as the dark reaction. Why is it so called? Because the reactions of this phase are not dependent on light energy. Okay, so stroma contain the enzymes necessary for these reactions of light independent phase. Hence, the site of light independent phase of photosynthesis is stroma. Okay, or stroma is otherwise the site of dark reaction. So the correct answer is option D, site of light independent phase of photosynthesis. Now question 27, again a function question. Function of guard cells. Okay, guard cells, we know what are guard cells. Guard cells are the bean shaped cells which are present at the opening of the stomatal aperture. Now function of guard cells. Options are regulate the closing of stomata, regulate the opening and closing of stomata, regulate the opening of stomata, regulate the process of photosynthesis. What is actually the function of guard cells? Guard cells regulate the opening and closing of stomata. Option B is the correct answer. Regulates the opening and closing of stomata. We know during light or during daytime, since photosynthesis takes place, sugar formation takes place in the guard cells because guard cells contain chloroplast. So as a result of this, endosmosis takes place into the guard cells, and the guard cells become turgid, and as a result of this, the guard cells, because of the peculiar type of wall thickening. What is the type of wall thickening that you see in guard cells? The outer walls are thin and the inner walls are thick. Okay, so as a result of the entry of water or endosmosis, the guard cells become turgid and the thin outer walls bulge outwards and the thick inner walls curve inwards, thereby opening the stomatal aperture. Then during night or when no photosynthesis is taking place, the guard cells lose water, become flaccid, and the stomatal aperture closes. So the function of guard cells is to regulate the opening and closing of stomata. Okay, a very important thing which I need to tell you is that children, whatever be the type of question paper you have to write, it is very important that you should be thorough with the text. Read the text again and again. Okay, and try to practice as many multiple choice questions as you can. This will help you to score very good marks in your exam. Okay, but the first thing is to be thorough with the text. Read whenever you get time, even you have finished, even if you have completed studying the chapter, whenever you get time in between, please make sure that you read so that you will not forget what you have studied. Okay, so then moving on to the next question, question 28. Function of xylem. What is the function of xylem? Xylem, in our lower classes we have studied as xylem is the water conducting tissue in plants. So let us move on to the options. Translocation of food from the leaves to the other parts of the plant, conduction of food, conduction of water and food, conduction of water and minerals from the root to the other parts of the plant. So from this we can easily understand options A, B and C are wrong. Xylem is not concerned with the conduction of food. Xylem is concerned with the conduction of water and minerals from the root to the other parts of the plant. So the correct option is option D, conduction of water and minerals from the root to the other parts of the plant. Question 29. Function of chromosomes. Options are carriers of heredity, controlling center of the cell, the site for various chemical reactions, and intracellular digestion. Okay, what is the correct answer? Okay, carriers of heredity. What are the units of heredity? The units of heredity are the genes. So, chromosomes are the carriers of heredity. Is it correct? Yes, that is very true. Option B, the controlling center of the cell. Which is the controlling center? Nucleus. That is wrong. The site for various chemical reactions is cytoplasm. Okay, and the place where intracellular digestion takes place is the lysosomes, which we call as the suicidal bags of the cell. So what is the correct answer? The correct answer is option A, carriers of heredity. Chromosomes are the carriers of heredity. Question 30. Function of Hydroathode. Helps in transpiration, helps in guttation, helps in imbibition, helps in transportation of water. Very easily you can identify the answer. It is option B, helps in guttation. Okay, what is guttation? Guttation is the process by which water leaves the plant in the form of water droplets through the hydrothodes. Okay, so the correct answer is option B, helps in guttation. Next question is a diagram based question. Okay, such a type of question we have already discussed before in my previous video. So you can expect such a question for your exam also, board exam. Any of this stage can be given. In the previous video which we have discussed, I have given the diagram, I think anaphase, isn't it? Now here in this figure, it is another stage that is given there. So let us move on to the question. Given below is a diagram representing a stage during mitotic cell division. Answer the questions that follow. Identify the stage. Okay, look at the diagram carefully. What is that stage? We know, we can see that the nuclear membrane is shown in dotted lines. It is so that means it is disappearing. Okay, you can see that the nuclear membrane is starting to disappear. The spindle fibers have originated and the spindle fibers are attached to the chromosomes, the centromere of the chromosomes. The chromosomes are in the condensed state, that is, they have the two chromatids which are attached at the centromere. So what is that stage? That is, let us move on to the options. Telophase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase. Which is the correct answer? The correct answer is prophase. Okay, so we have identified the stage as prophase. Okay, now second question. Label the part marked X. Look at the diagram again. What is that part which is marked as X? Moving on to the options. Centriole, centrosome, centromere, chromatid. Okay, look carefully. It is the centromere. What is centromere? The region where the two chromatids are attached. That is the centromere. Okay, so the correct answer for question B is centromere. Now question C. Name the stage that follows the one shown here. So here we have identified the stage as prophase, which is the stage that follows the stage after prophase, which is the stage that comes after prophase, metaphase. Yes. So look at the options: interphase, anaphase, telophase, metaphase. So correct answer is metaphase. Okay. What is the diploid number of chromosomes shown in the diagram? How many chromosomes are shown there in the diagram? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So correct answer is 4. 4 is the diploid number of chromosomes shown in the diagram. Okay, correct answer is 4. Mention one important feature of this stage. One important feature. Look at the options. Nucleolus reappears, nuclear membrane reappears, nuclear membrane disappears, chromosomes align on the equator. Which is the correct option? Very easy. The correct answer is nuclear membrane disappears. Okay, so such a type of question you can surely expect for your board exam. Any one stage can be given and questions based on that stage will be asked. Okay, so study the diagrams of the different stages of mitosis. You can very easily score full marks for such a question. Okay. So here in question C, name the stage that follows this stage. That is the question asked here. That means the stage that comes after this stage. But in certain cases, as in the question which we have discussed before in one of the previous videos, there the question is name the stage that comes prior to this stage. Means prior means that comes before this stage, or the stage that precedes this stage. Means the stage that comes before. So here if the question was to name the stage that comes prior to this stage, what will be the answer? That is, this stage is prophase. So which is the stage that comes prior to this stage? It is interphase. Okay. Here the question is the stage that follows this stage. So the answer is metaphase. Hope it is clear to all of you. So be very thorough with the stages of mitosis. You can surely, very surely, you can expect a question from this. Now the last question in the sample question paper, question number 32. Again, observe the diagram given below and answer the questions. Okay, since the diagram I have taken from the net, it is not the exact diagram that is given in our sample paper. So question 1, the first question A, identify the cell organelle. What is that cell organelle? Is it mitochondria, lysosome, ribosome, chloroplast? Which is the correct answer? Answer is, did you identify the organelle? It is chloroplast. Yes, it is the chloroplast. Label the parts marked A, B and C. Okay, the parts marked A, B and C. So what is A? Look at the diagram. What is A? A is, we have identified, don't look at the options in the beginning, just identify the parts and then come to the correct answer. Okay, so A is stroma. What is C? C is thylakoid. Okay, and B is granum. Okay, one flattened sac is labeled in C and the entire group or the entire stack is marked in B. So A is stroma, B is granum and C is thylakoid. So mark the correct answer. A, what is A? A is stroma. Okay, B, what is B? B is granum, 1 granum, and C is thylakoid, that is number 4. C, number 4, thylakoid. Understood how to answer? So when such questions come, it is better to look at the diagram carefully and you identify the parts and then come to the options and mark the correct option. So you will not get confused. Okay. Then the unit of light absorbed by chlorophyll is, options are proton, photon, electron, neutron. Which is the correct answer? Correct answer is photon. Photon is the unit of light energy. With this, we come to the end of discussion of the sample question paper of biology. Hope what we have discussed in this session is clear to all of you. If you have any doubts, please ask your doubts and give your suggestions in the comment section. Thank you.